Hi everyone, here I am. It's very early in the morning, about 10 to 7 on Friday the 17th of March, and I'm about to undertake my longest training run ever, in fact my longest run ever as part of my training. The Isle of Wight, as you know, is a 64-mile round trip, and I thought, just 6 weeks ahead of the that race, I better get a bit more mileage in. The most I've run ever is 32 miles, and today I'm aiming for something in the region of 40. So I'm running from top of Berry Hill, which is one of my favourite starting points because it heads you downhill from the very start into the Amberley Valley, which I can't see today. It's too misty already. It's a rainy day, it's a misty day. And then I'm going to run along the Southdowns Way to Devil's Dyke, just north of Brighton, which is 20 miles out, and then obviously 20 miles back. Now this is the South Downs, very much like the Isle of Wight terrain. It's very undulating, and I've got 4,500 miles of climbs to do as part of this. So obviously lots of ups and downs, but I've never done anything like 4,500 feet before, so it'll be interesting. I'm expecting to take probably 7 to 8 hours. Who knows, really? Realistically, the weather is pretty atrocious. I'm not a fair weather runner. I love running in all kinds of weather, and in fact I don't really like the hot weather too much, but wet as it is today, and I'll show you some video in a minute of what it's like as I head down into Amberley Valley. You can't see the valley floor, you can't see more than 30 feet in front of you at the moment. So pray for me. I'm going to need your prayers this morning as I go through this thing, and we'll catch up with you a bit later on. Bye. Hey, so I've just started, just a few minutes down the hill. I've left the car and the noise of the road behind me up there, and as you can see, there should be a valley down there somewhere called the Amberley Valley, but it is not to be seen. So yeah, very cold, very wet and misty this morning. It's going to get better, surely. It's going to get better. I know it's going to rain until about lunchtime, so I'm going to get extremely wet. Today I'm wearing my trusty baseball cap. I've got my gloves on because it's a little bit chilly at the moment. I've got my usual running top on. Today, for the first time ever, I've got a backpack on, seriously filled with supplies, spare socks, because I'm going to get wet feet at some point, I'm sure. A few rags and things to wipe sweat that I get on my brow and runs down into my eyes. Bit of food, bit of toilet paper, some blister plasters just in case, and one of those lovely tin foil blankets in case I meet an unfortunate accident. Anyway, this is the first of several updates. I'll probably do an update every 10 miles or so, so there aren't going to be too many of these things, but anyway, better get on. I've got a long way ahead of me. See you later. Okay, I'm now 5 miles in. It's still extremely wet. My feet are already soaked, so I've done, what have I done? 12.5%. You can't even see me. Let's see, there we go, that's probably a bit better. Yeah, 12.5%, 1/8 of the way. Just had my first gel and a nice drink of water. I forgot to mention I've also got my my walking poles for the first time today as well, because who knows, I might need them by the end. I could be completely crippled by the time I get back. Climbing up Berry Hill for that final climb, which I know from the past after a long run is just agony. Probably a 15-minute mile. I'm alright at the moment. I'm just under an hour, so probably slightly under 10-minute miles at the moment on average. I'm walking the uphills, which is what I'm doing at the moment, and running the flats and running the downhills, which is an excellent strategy for anyone doing long trail runs. Anyway, I better crack on because there's a lovely downhill just arrived. Okay, I'm at 10 miles now, just gone past Chunkery Ring, which, believe it or not, is a local beauty spot. Beautiful ring of trees at the top of the Southdowns, and as you might expect, like the rest of the scenery, it's almost invisible today in these conditions. So I've hit 10 miles, quarter of the way. We are an hour and 3/4 in, feeling quite good still. I've been taking a fairly relaxed approach. I'm aiming for just over 10-minute miles, which means that I can, in running down hills, I'm picking up the speed, and then I'm not sweating it. I'm walking up the hills, taking on liquid, taking on protein, there's lovely flapjack bars, and gels. So yeah, it's all going well. I've not seen a single person this morning. Normally you see a few dog walkers along here, or a cyclist or two, but so far today, at 8:45 in the morning, I haven't seen anyone at all. So we'll see where we go. I've got in the next 10 miles will be my halfway point. Hopefully we'll be able to stop off at a cafe there called the Wildflower Cafe, which is just off of Devil's Dyke. Never been there before. Might not even be open on a day like today, but we'll see. And hopefully we're going to say hello to some people up there. See you later. Hey, I made it to halfway. So I'm just in the Devil's Dyke estate, and I'm at a lovely little cafe called the Wildflower Cafe, and it's time for a coffee. Is it? Just look around at this place. Sweet little caravan, homemade cakes, which I'm not having today, but the coffee's going to do me well. So that's 20 miles done. I'm going to push a little bit further and then turn around, and then do the 20 miles back. My pacing at the moment is, let me just check where I'm at. So my pacing is bang on, 10.5 minutes per mile average. I'm due to finish coffee pending just after 2 o'clock. So hopefully I'll have a good pace back, get some energy back into my weary legs. Starting to pick up a bit of an ache in my right ankle. A bit concerning seeing I'm halfway, but just done some quite intense uphills, so that could be why. But we'll see how we go. And anyway, we'll enjoy this coffee, and I'll catch up with you later. Okie dokie, it's not, you can see me, let's just clean that a bit. So I've just gone over 31 miles now, so less than 9 miles to go. Yes, I'm on target now, slightly delayed because I've just done a 5-mile climb where I could run very little of that. But I wanted to kind of get to here before kind of stopping and doing this video, because I wanted to show you the Chanctonbury ring of trees that I was talking about earlier. There we go, just sitting on the top of the hill. Earlier on, shrouded completely in mist, and as I came up the hill, the sun started to burn out from behind the clouds, It stopped raining about half an hour ago, thankfully. I was frankly getting a bit fed up with the wet. It's still very, very sludgy underfoot, which has made going really difficult. But yeah, I'm kind of on the home stretch now, last 25%. It's going to be slow, but well, let's see how we go. So this is what it's all about. This is why I love running in the South Downs. When it's not quite a perfect day for it, but when there's no mist, you get the wonderful views of these valleys and hills. So I'm nearly home. I'm nearly finished. I've now got to get to the top of this hill, about there, which is where my car's parked. Unfortunately, it's not like a triumphant finish because I've got to climb up another very steep hill before I finish. It's been a bit like this today, very slippery. My time is not quite what I hoped it would be. Underfoot it's been incredibly difficult, but I'm nearly there. Basically, I think I'll be done in about 25 minutes. I'll see you at the end. Well, there we are. I'm finished. Just over 8 hours. Much longer than I thought I would be by about an hour. Conditions have been very wet and slippery, as you saw earlier. But thankfully, look at that beautiful sky now. You can see the valley behind me. You can hear the cars in front of me. I'm tired and I'm gonna go home.